Veuillez vous lever pour chanter O Canada. Please rise for the singing of O Canada, performed by Fia Lin.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Fia Lin. Merci, Fia Lin. Maintenant, veuillez accueillir chaleureusement un de nos nouveaux membres du caucus conservateur, Richard Martel. Now, let's give a huge Ottawa welcome to one of our newest Conservative caucus members, Richard Martel.
Oui, oui. Wow, 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 wow. Hello, my dear conservative friends. What a crowd, what a crowd. Once again, I'm very proud to be here with you today. 1 year from today, it will be election night in Canada. This is almost as exciting as hockey night in Canada. Seriously, can we say, are we there yet? My question is, are you ready to turn Canada blue in 2019? Perfect. Excellent, excellent. As for myself, we got a head start in my home riding. We started a bit early. We just couldn't wait until 2019. We needed to win a new seat right now. And we have done it. Thanks to an awesome team and a great leader, Andrew Scheer. La victoire à Chicoutimi-le-Fjord veut dire quelque chose. Ça veut dire que le Parti conservateur peut gagner à travers le Canada d'un océan à l'autre. This victory in Chicoutimi-le-Fjord means something. It means that conservatives everywhere in Canada can win coast to coast to coast. Thanks. Depuis que je suis avec la famille conservatrice, je vois une équipe solide, je vois une équipe unie, je vois une équipe travaillante, travaille sans relâche pour donner aux Canadiens une meilleure alternative. This alternative is for lower taxes rather than higher. It is for a stronger military rather than weaker. It is for better trade deals rather than worse. Mes amis, les Canadiens méritent mieux que le gouvernement libéral de Justin Trudeau. La seule réalisation dont ce gouvernement se tarde, c'est la légalisation de la marijuana. C'est tout un héritage. Les Canadiens voient clair. Puis dans mon comté, les gens voient encore plus clair. Ils me disent des choses que je ne peux pas dire ici parce que ce n'est pas parlementaire et ce n'est pas beau. Canadians know that this Liberal government has not fulfilled their promises and has turned their back on them. It's time for a government that starts working for Canadians. Not the other way around. And when that happens, when conservatives win government, there will be a lot to celebrate. But the only way we can aspire to celebrate all together on October 21st, 2019, is if each one of you and our volunteers across the country give their 100% for the Conservative Party of Canada and our leader, Andrew Scheer. This will be, my friend, a great team win. I ask you today to give your 100% because I know our leader is giving it all every day to ensure that this is the only mandate of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Joignez votre association locale dans vos comtés. Allez frapper aux portes. C'est important. Convainquez votre entourage. Un par un, on va faire la différence. 1 an, c'est court. C'est court. On n'a pas de temps à perdre. Il faut commencer maintenant. Au hockey, on disait toujours de jouer 3 périodes au complet. Là, je vous demande de jouer 1 année complète, comme si au final, on va aller chercher la coupe. In hockey, we used to tell our players to play all 3 periods. So, now today, I ask you to play the next year fully, as if the Stanley Cup awaited you at the end. But believe me, it will be even better than a Stanley Cup. Ceci est le début d'un long sprint final. Mais rappelez-vous, si nous travaillons ensemble, sans relâche, aucun comté n'est imprenable au Canada. This is the beginning of a long stretch home. But remember, if we work together tirelessly, no riding is impossible to win in Canada. Merci beaucoup. Merci, thank you very much. The Conservative Party counts on you. Our leader, Andrew Scheer, counts on you. We count on you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, I would like to introduce to you Leona Aleslev.
Oh my gosh! Wow! Oh my goodness! I'm overwhelmed, and I don't find myself very often in a position where I don't know what to say. My goodness, my goodness. I was gonna say that you can tell immediately the difference between an incredible hockey coach and a former military officer, because I tend to talk a little bit more serious and a little less rah, rah, rah. So be prepared. So I think you may not know that I am Leona Aleslev from Aurora, Oak Ridges, Richmond Hill. And I'm so incredibly honored to be the newest member of the Conservative Party. So I'm guessing you may know that I perhaps am not that new to being a member of Parliament. And so I may have been a member of another party. You bet. So I may be a little late to the party, but better late, hopefully, than never. And that's what I want to talk to you about for a few minutes, because I want to give you just a little bit of an idea of how I got here, because I have an ask of all of you. So, yes, I did run for the other party, because they said that they were going to prioritize tax reform. They said that they were going to reinvigorate our military and buy them equipment and ships. They were going to be committed as an ally to NATO and NORAD. They said that they were going to reintroduce Canada and reaffirm our commitments and our responsibilities on the world stage. That is what I believe Canada needs. But that is not what they have done. They called it tax reform, and they tinkered and then called people tax cheats and pitted one tax group against another. That is not tax reform. And then they said they were going to be a member of NATO and add to the 2% of GDP, which is basically saying they were going to meet the commitments that they made, but there is no plan whatsoever to get to that amount of money. So that would be like saying, hey, I'm going to the bank and I'm going to borrow money and I'm going to start a new business and it's going to be profitable. Oh, that sounds great. When are you going to pay the money back, and when will it be profitable? Oh, well, I'm not going to tell you that. So obviously, you can't believe that. Then the second thing, of course, new aircraft, and what are we getting? We're getting used F-18s from Australia. Not only does that not address an incredibly important capability that our Canadian forces needs to be able to defend us at home and a valued and honored ally, but it's humiliating because everyone knows that that means we are not serious and we are not taking our commitments at home and abroad seriously. And then they talked about our trade agreements and our alliances, and we could talk about NAFTA, and we could talk about the current tariffs that we have on aluminum and steel. And why? Why do we have those tariffs? Because for the first time ever, the United States considers Canada to be a national security threat. So that puts Canadians at risk, and it's now costing us economically. Those are significant things that they said they were going to do and that they didn't do. And that's part of the reason that I need to make a very significant decision to change. Now, I want to tell you that that's a very difficult decision to make. And the only way that I was able to make it was because of my caucus colleagues who over 3 years always gave me the opportunity to have a conversation. They welcomed me, they opened the conversation, they wanted to hear what was at stake about the country so that we could have a meaningful conversation about where the country needed to go. And then I had the opportunity to speak with our incredible leader, Andrew Scheer. And we went through all kinds of policies and talked about where he thought this country should go and what was important. And that wife, I can surely tell you, was incredible and critically important to how I arrived here. And I am so, so proud and honored to be a member of the Conservative Party. Thank you. So, my ask of you, while you all know people who may be like me, who in the last election voted for another party. So while it would be really cool to say, I told you so, my caucus colleagues, members of parliament, did not say that to me. And so I'm asking you not to say that to them. You need to make them feel like they have a home in the Conservative Party as well. We live in a time of unprecedented instability. We have significant challenges at home and around the globe. Canada must do things differently. And we, a political party, is only made up of the people who are in it at the time and what the country needs at the time. And we need you to welcome those people who understand that the country is at stake into our party because they have a home here as well. Because what this party needs at this time, this country needs at this time, is this leader, Andrew Scheer. And this party right here, right now. So, je vous remercie mille fois. C'est incroyable d'être parmi vous aujourd'hui. Le Parti conservateur est fort et est capable de suivre la nation avec les défis qu'on a en face. Je vous remercie. The country needs this leader, this party right now. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you. It's now my great pleasure to introduce to you our next man on the stage, our favorite member of parliament from Carleton. I think I can say our newest father of an incredibly gorgeous young girl, Valentina. And I'm sure you'll all support him in his motion to make hiccups illegal. Pierre Poilievre.
Good to see you. Well done. Well, thank you very much for that kind introduction, Leona. And you're right, I am a new father, just 5 days. A newly sleep-deprived father, so if I am slurring my words, it's not because marijuana was legalized this week. But, you know, it is nerve-wracking when you have your first child. When that baby comes out, you all want to hear that loud scream that signifies healthy lungs. And there's those 3 or 4 seconds where you're not sure, where there's nothing but dead silence. And that's what happened to us. And then the doctor leaned over and whispered something in the ears of Valentina Alejandra Poilievre Galindo. And all of a sudden, she roared like a lioness, and we knew she was healthy. And after we took in the moment, I went over to the doctor and I said, "What is it that you told my daughter?" And the doctor said, "I just told her that her share of the national debt is $20,000. And rising. I mean, how can I follow up on this dynamic duo here? We have Leona, who did not leave her party left her. Like so many patriotic Canadians who chose for good reason to vote Liberal in the last election, they are now realizing that the future of Canada rests best on the shoulders of our leader, Andrew Scheer. Et comment peux-je suivre Richard Martel, notre nouveau député? Il a dit que dans un an, nous allons gagner et ça va sentir de la même façon de gagner la Coupe Stanley. He said it's going to feel just like winning the Stanley Cup. And you know, better than winning the Stanley Cup. And our deputy leader, Lisa Raitt, leaned over and said, "I'm a Leafs fan. I have no idea what that feels like." We had to get that in because here we are in the nation's capital. In fact, we have great conservative candidates here in Ottawa. Let me introduce them to you. Pierre Lemieux. Justina McCaffrey. Mike Lalonde. Dave Blackburn. And of course, Michael Barrett. Give them a big round of applause. So 1 year away. Hard to believe, 14 years ago, Andrew Scheer and I were elected in June of 2004, on the very same day. He's a much older man than me, of course, 14 days to be precise. And we were walking from the Eternal Flame up to the magnificent Peace Tower. And I stopped and I looked up in awe and I said, Andrew, I can't believe I'm here. And he said, Pierre, I agree. I can't believe you're here either. But you know, this is going to be a very important election. Big differences between the two leaders, Andrew Scheer and Justin Trudeau. They do have some things in common. They both had drivers growing up. Of course, Justin Trudeau's was a chauffeur and Andrew took the bus. And I think that might signify where these two gentlemen have come from. Justin Trudeau's family, he brags, gave him a multi-million-dollar trust fund, his family fortune. Andrew Scheer's parents gave him a piggy bank so he could save what he earned. Justin Trudeau takes illegal $500,000 vacations gifted to him by people who are lobbying for federal money. Andrew and Jill throw their 5 kids in the minivan and go for a great Canadian road trip. Justin Trudeau never had to worry about money, so he doesn't worry an awful lot about yours. He bragged that he inherited a family fortune from his grandfather, and he's paying for his present-day spending on the backs of all of our grandchildren. In fact, Justin Trudeau is spending your tomorrow on his today. And it's time that changed. And with Andrew Scheer, it will change. Andrew Scheer grew up in a family where they counted every penny, and that is exactly how he will run the finances of our country. Where Justin Trudeau imposed a carbon tax on single mothers and struggling seniors, but omits the largest industrial polluters from having to pay, Andrew Scheer will lower taxes and bring in real plans to lower pollution at the very same time. Where Justin Trudeau calls our small business owners wealthy tax treats and raises their taxes and red tape, Andrew Scheer will lower their burden and unleash their ability to create jobs and prosperity for all Canadians. He will restore lawful immigration and bring more people to Canada who can serve our country, serve our economy, and build our communities. And he will clear the way for pipelines so that we no longer have to pump billions of dollars and thousands of jobs into Donald Trump's America. We'll bring our money and our jobs back here to Canada. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm Ottawa welcome to the next Prime Minister of Canada, notre prochain Premier ministre du Canada, Andrew Scheer.
Congratulations. That's exciting. There we go. Thank you so much. All right. Good. Thanks so much, Rudy. Thank you. Thanks for everything. Wow. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you very much. What a great energy we have in the room today. Thank you so much for being here. This is exciting. There's a lot of electricity in the air. The only thing I can think of that will top the energy and the atmosphere in the room here today will be the energy and the feeling and the excitement in the room 1 year from now as we celebrate a Conservative victory in the next election. That'll be something. And merci beaucoup, Pierre. Thank you very much, Pierre, for that very kind introduction. And a big congratulations on the birth of the newest Conservative in the National Capital Region, Valentina. Congratulations. I know Jill's sitting right beside you, so she'll probably say what I'll say. There's 4 more to go, and then you've caught up to us. But it is just fantastic to see our Conservative family growing. It's been growing for quite a while now. It started in the by-election in Chicoutimi with Richard Martel. I commencé avec Richard Martel à Chicoutimi-les-Fjords. And our party showed that you don't even have to win by-elections to grow your Conservative family when Leona Alislev joined us. How great is it that we've had these 2 great individuals join our Conservative team in Ottawa? And you know, Leona showed such tremendous courage, putting her country before her party. She showed the courage and conviction of a true Conservative. And since she's joined our team, I've heard from so many Canadians, from coast to coast, and they have the same story. Canadians like Leona who put their faith and their trust in Justin Trudeau just 3 years ago. They're now stopping me and they're telling me, they're saying, Andrew, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I voted Liberal, but I will never make that mistake again. And I am so confident, more than ever, that with her help, with the amazing Conservative team, with these MPs, these senators, these candidates, and with each and every one of you, all of us working together will make sure that Justin Trudeau is a one-term Prime Minister. Si, comme mon ami Leona, vous avez voté pour Justin Trudeau la dernière fois et vous arrivez à la conclusion qu'il n'a pas ce qu'il faut pour diriger le Canada en période difficile. Je veux que vous sachiez ceci. Vous êtes à la fois bienvenus et requis au sein du Parti conservateur de Canada. You are welcome and you are needed in the Conservative Party of Canada. Et croyez-moi, beaucoup de gens se retrouvent là-dedans. I can't begin to tell you how proud I am to lead this party at this particular moment in our history. And let's think of how far we've come over the past few years. Do you remember a little more than 3 years ago, after Justin Trudeau had won his majority government? All the pundits and experts were all predicting that our party, that the Conservatives would spend at least 8 years, maybe 12, in opposition. That there is no way we could win against Justin Trudeau the next election out.
I'm back up.
Well, I'm here to tell you this. We are beating Justin Trudeau, and we're going to defeat Justin Trudeau 1 year from now. We're beating him everywhere. We're beating him on the issues, whether it's on deficits and taxes, on trade and jobs, on security, on safety, on our border, or on pretty much just about everything else. We've got Justin Trudeau on the run every single day in the House of Commons. That has become his least favorite place in the country. And thanks to all of your generosity and your hard work, we are winning on fundraising too. And I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you who help support our party. Because we take strong stances on the issues that matter to Canadians, people are opening up their wallets and their generosity, and they're helping to support our party. For every dollar the Liberals raise, Conservatives have been bringing in 2. We're out fundraising them 2 to 1 because of the strength of our conviction. And we do that thanks to the individual generosity of every single one of our donors and our activists. We don't have big cash for access types of events where well-connected lobbyists line up to sign over their donation. We have people all over this country who, because of our strong positions, will take out their checkbook and give what they can to make sure that they get a government that puts their interests first in the next election. Our Conservative movement is winning across the country in provincial elections, where we've been beating Liberals. We're winning those ideas at the provincial level. We've got more and more allies in premiers' offices across the country who will help us implement our vision of low taxes, smaller government, and greater individual freedom for Canadians from coast to coast. And, I knew we had a great team. I knew we had a great locker room atmosphere in the Conservative caucus, but it has been even better since Richard Martel joined our team. Proving that Conservatives can win anywhere. Richard won his seat by an astonishing 53% of the vote, almost doubling what we got in the last election. I just want everyone in the room here to know, as you go out and you get ready and you're joining your local EDA, when you're thinking about how you can help out your candidate in the next election, if we can win Chicoutimi-Fjord, we can win anywhere in Canada. We're going to win seats nobody expected us to win in 2019. It shows we've got all this momentum growing across the country. And now 1 year from now, 1 year from today, Canadians will head to the polls. And they will have their say on Justin Trudeau and the Liberal government. And they will have an opportunity to pass judgment on his legacy of failure, on failing to help the middle class, on failing to run a clean and ethical government, on failing to create the kind of growth and prosperity that all Canadians can benefit from. And Canadians will be thinking about the consequences of all those failures. Et dans seulement un an, nous allons mettre un terme au mandat d'échec de Justin Trudeau. Vous vous souvenez de ce qu'il a promis en 2015. Il a été élu en s'engageant à aider la classe moyenne, à diriger un gouvernement propre et éthique, à accuser des déficits petits et temporaires. Remember those? Remember those teeny tiny temporary deficits? Et il a amélioré la position du Canada à l'étranger. Mais il a échoué sur tous ses plans et plus encore. Et cela a de véritables coûts qui touchent directement les Canadiens. Les conséquences sont sérieuses. The consequences of Justin Trudeau's failures are serious. Let's start with the Liberal kryptonite, the thing that is always difficult for Liberals to handle on ethics. You know, I don't think I've heard so many Liberals in the House of Commons say the exact same thing. Mr. Speaker, my office will comply with the Ethics Commissioner's investigation. That was their talking point. More and more of their ministers, that's what they get up in question period. Let's go through the list. The Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, the first sitting Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister in Canadian history to be found guilty of breaking ethics laws. Shameful. Unbelievable. Bill Morneau, the country's finance minister, also broke ethics rules. You know, he forgot to tell the ethics commissioner about his villa in France. I can tell you something, okay? Anytime, anywhere, any place, I always know exactly how many French villas I have. They have a minister who gave a sweetheart deal in the fishing industry, giving away precious and lucrative quota to Todd Doherty's clam scam. That's right. Well, not Todd Doherty's. Todd Doherty's lifted the veil on the clam scam. But consider this. Using their power in government, giving a lucrative portion of the quota to friends and family of Liberal MPs and insiders. Giving a fishing quota to a company that didn't even have a boat at the time. That is the Liberal record. Unbelievable. You know, it might as well be their election slogan in the next election. Justin Trudeau's Liberals, under investigation since 2015. But I'm here to tell you that a conservative government will put an end to the sleazy and self-serving politics of the Trudeau Liberals and give Canadians a government they can be proud of again. There is so much to talk about when we're talking about Justin Trudeau's failures. This week, we learned about the true cost, the true levels of his deficits. His deficits that have reached $20 billion this year alone. Now, nobody here would do that. Nobody leaves their kids an unpaid credit card bill. That's not what we do as families, as parents. But that's exactly what Justin Trudeau is doing. It is nothing short of intergenerational theft. It is not right to do what he's doing. And conservatives understand why deficits are so damaging. You know, we don't just fight for balanced budgets because we like to see black ink on the ledger book. We don't fight to get the fiscal house in order because we want to see a friendly editorial in the Financial Post. We know that deficits today cost future generations tomorrow. That money has to be paid back with interest. That more and more of your tax dollar goes to pay the interest costs on that debt, going to banks and bonds and hedge funds. That's not right. Conservatives will stop the raid on future generations, eliminate Justin Trudeau's deficits, and get Canada's fiscal house back in order because that is what our moral obligation to the next generation of Canadians is, and we will be proud to fix his mess. But ask yourself, where is all that money going? Where is it going? It's not going to make life more affordable for Canadians. It's not making it easier for people to get by at the end of the month. In fact, never before has a government spent so much to achieve so little. Everywhere I go, I hear from the concerns of people who are finding it harder and harder to get through the month. They feel like they might be getting by, but they're not getting ahead. That's who Conservatives are fighting for. When you think about how this government has made it more and more expensive for families to get by, whether it's saving to buy a new house, it's made that harder. Harder to save, harder to qualify for a mortgage. He brags about the cost of gas going up. Remember that? He was in Vancouver. He was asked about the record high gas prices in British Columbia. And he said that that's exactly what his government wanted. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Conservatives know that millionaire Liberals like Justin Trudeau might not mind paying higher gas prices, but hard-working Canadian families do, and Conservatives will always fight to lower their costs, not to raise it. What have you gotten from Justin Trudeau's record deficits and exploding debt? You don't have anything to show for it. All those things are getting more expensive with less and less money at the end of the month. So we will talk to Canadians about our plan to make life more affordable, to lower costs, not raise costs. Justin Trudeau has a legacy of making things more expensive. But it doesn't matter to him. He's never had to worry about money. So it's no wonder that he doesn't worry about yours. His failures are having more and more consequences. We see now with the aftermath of the NAFTA deal that he signed. Remember a couple years ago when Donald Trump said that he wanted to renegotiate NAFTA because he had some specific concerns with Mexico, and Justin Trudeau volunteered and said, hey, we'll come and sit at the table, and he promised Canadians that he would get a better deal for Canada. He'd get more out of our trade relationships with the U.S. than we had before. And what do we see? What did we get? Well, I think Donald Trump's own chief negotiator summed it up the best. Larry Kudlow said of the finalized deal that Canada, under Justin Trudeau, gave graciously. Justin Trudeau and the Liberals are measuring their success by what they managed to keep and hold on to. Well, the Americans are measuring their success in their victories and what they got from us. That is no way to manage a trading relationship. That is certainly not an improved NAFTA. Conservatives will fight against the Americans' attempt to take jobs and money into the United States by keeping those jobs and investments right here in Canada. You know, last week in the House of Commons, the Liberals actually tried to claim that Conservatives were being critical of the Liberals for being too tough. And I assured them, I said, there is nobody in Canada who believes that the Liberals were too tough with the Americans. Nobody thought they were being too tough as they were accepting a cap on auto exports. Nobody thought they were being too tough when they agreed to abide by Donald Trump's pharmaceutical regime, raising the cost of drugs for Canadians. Nobody thought that they were being too tough when we agreed to stop selling our exports to other countries to make space for U.S. producers. And after giving all that away, we had one simple question. What did they get in return? Nothing. After giving all of that away, no end to steel and aluminum tariffs, no end to the softwood lumber duties, no end to the Buy America policies. There is no way, nobody in Canada can believe that we got more out of this NAFTA deal than we had before. It is one of Justin Trudeau's biggest failures when it comes to international trade. And part of competing with the US is getting our energy to market. Part of standing up to other countries' attempts to get ahead of us is getting our natural resources to the markets that want to buy them. So let's talk about pipelines. Let's talk about one of Justin Trudeau's biggest failures when it comes to managing our own domestic economy. First of all, let me just say, all of this starts when you look at what the Liberals said, emboldening radical protesters, saying that they had to get their consent. Remember when he said that only communities could grant permission? He emboldened all those people who have an ideological opposition to pipelines and our natural resource sector. And nothing drives me more crazy than watching those very people laying down in front of bulldozers or chaining themselves to trees, blocking Canadian exports of responsible energy, extracted with some of the highest environmental standards around the world, blocking our attempts to get our products to market and employing Canadians in literally every province in this country. And yet, I don't see them lining up and down the St. Lawrence, blocking tanker after tanker of foreign oil coming into our markets from countries like Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Algeria, or the United States. And that's why Conservatives have a plan to get those pipelines built. Justin Trudeau doesn't actually want them built. He killed Northern Gateway, which would have opened up markets in the Asia-Pacific region. He killed Energy East by imposing an upstream and a downstream double standard regulation. No other industry in Canada faces that. And those foreign oil companies sure don't have to calculate for their upstream and downstream emissions as they send energy into Canada's markets. A Conservative government will get those pipelines built, get our men and women in the energy sector back to work, and we'll invite the proponents of Energy East back to the table so we can finally get Western energy to Eastern markets and be self-sufficient as a country. Part about being competitive around the world and ensuring that our economy grows and Canadians feel the benefits is fighting against the carbon tax. Now, Canadians know that a carbon tax is not an environmental plan. It is a revenue plan. It is a way to get more money into the coffers of this government because he has a spending problem. Now, don't let anyone call this a price. We know, Conservatives know. A price is something that you pay based on the cost of production, supply and demand, transportation costs. All of that goes into a price. But the biggest thing about a price is that you have a choice as to whether or not you want to pay it. When the government sets a cost, forces you to pay it, and collects the revenue, that is a tax. It is a tax no matter what they try to call it, and we will scrap it. But the Liberals are trying to bob and weave on this. They're trying to throw up some smokescreen. They're saying that don't worry, not everyone's going to feel the effect of the carbon tax. And when we say, well, the carbon tax is going to kill jobs and drive out investment, they say, well, don't worry because we're going to give big emitters, big corporations with well-connected insiders, we'll give them an exemption. The carbon tax is so bad that we're going to give an exemption of up to 90% to those companies that can afford to have well-placed government relations experts here in Ottawa. Well, I've got an even better idea. I'm going to give hardworking Canadians and families and single moms and seniors on fixed incomes a 100% exemption on the carbon tax by getting rid of it altogether. Justin Trudeau says he wants to fight the next election on the carbon tax. I say bring it on. These are some of the things that are shaping up to be the big questions in the next election. Big issues, big divides between those in the Liberal Party and all of you here tonight and candidates across the country. And I want to thank you so much for being here this afternoon as we kick off this one-year sprint to the finish. We have only 1 year left, and there's a lot to do before the writ comes down next year. We're going to have a big fight on our hands. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a tough fight. We know we're on the right side. We know we've got policies that will win and will deliver real change for Canadians that make their lives easier. But we also know that the Liberals are going to throw everything they have at us. It's going to get worse. It's going to get nasty. We know it's going to get nasty because Justin Trudeau's already started to get nasty. The nastiest campaign in history. He said it. He said it himself, and then he went about proving it. His Liberal team have called our members of Parliament who don't support their carbon tax, they called them Neanderthals. He's used debasing and demeaning language in the House of Commons every time he gets questioned on something that he doesn't like. He even had the audacity to call those who have questioned his complete lack of a plan to deal with illegal border crossings un-Canadian. That is some of the nasty rhetoric that we're going to see and continue to see from this Prime Minister. And he's got a lot of people on his side. He's got, I don't know if you've noticed it, but we don't always get the same kind of coverage in the mainstream media that he gets. Have you noticed that? Every once in a while. Every once in a while. So he's got the media on his side. He's got the pundits. He's got the academics and think tanks, everyone who wants to lecture you about how to spend your own money and how to live your own life. But we've got something he doesn't have. We have the people. We have you. We have all those who have to live with the decisions that he's made and the policies that he's brought in. We have the seniors who can't pay their power bills because of his higher taxes and who don't want to have to pay his carbon tax. We have the newlyweds who are worried about buying a new home or are trying to pay off their student loans. We have working parents who are trying to save for their children's university or put a little bit away for their retirement. All these people are the victims of Justin Trudeau's failed policies. They are on our side. You are on our side, and nothing can be more powerful than that. All the media experts, all the pundits can't compete with what we have on our side. Alors, nous avons besoin de tous les dollars que vous pouvez partager, chaque heure que vous pouvez nous accorder, chaque goutte de sueur que vous pouvez donner. Cela prendra tout et même plus. Mais si vous le faites, mesdames et messieurs, je vous promets ceci. Nous allons nous retrouver dans un an, jour pour jour, en train de célébrer une incroyable victoire et un tout nouveau gouvernement conservateur fort et stable. So we need your help. We need every dollar you can spare, every hour of extra time you have, every drop of sweat that you can give. And it's going to take all of that and probably then some. But if you do, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you this, Canada will get the government that we need. A government that knows it's already hard enough to get ahead in life without the government making it harder. A government that views its citizens as drivers of prosperity, not sources of revenue. A government that understands that balancing the budget is the best way to preserve the programs and services Canadians rely on the most. A government that knows that public service is about self-sacrifice, not self-enrichment. A government less focused on getting attention and more focused on getting results. So that we can build a country where taxes are low, government is limited, but opportunity is unlimited, freedom is celebrated, and where people are put first. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 1 year to go. Merci beaucoup. Thanks, Reed.